SourKidsProductions.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock. Lil' Flip in the building. Hey, Money Elms, you ready? Let's go. Welcome to Elm Street, the hottest podcast. And all that cash in Money Elms pockets, it look like thigh pads. He talking trending topics, he ain't no carbon copy. We talking sports, music, and fashion and other options to get us out the hood and keep that paper coming. And I smoke cones, not backwoods, I'm about to blaze an onion. These rappers flexing on the gram and they got fake cheddar. This intro was provided to you by Flip Mayweather. That right. Yeety. Money Elms, what's up? Yeah. Lil' Flip in the building. Screwed up clip. Welcome to Elm Street.
Yo, what's up, what's going on? Welcome to Elm Street. I'm your boy, Money Elms, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in, everybody that's showing support. So right before we go in, make sure you like and subscribe and show some love. Hell yeah. So we're out here, still doing it. We got some, I got a good guest today, by the way, and we also have some major things happening in the studio that y'all will know soon, but not just quite yet. Gotta keep y'all in suspense, so like that y'all keep coming back and tuning in. But I'm gonna go ahead and introduce my guest today, my guest co-host, Sonia Kilo.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Sonia Kilo.
How you doing?
I'm good. It's Friday. The weather's not terrible. It's like one of them things where you always in Texas, you're like, oh, it's nice. And the next thing you know, it like tries to kill us with like a tsunami, snowstorm.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited that it was like a nice day, but I'm like, just wait, something's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. It's always bipolar over here is what I call it.
Yeah.
You just never know. Sometimes I'll dress for thinking the weather's going to be a certain type of way.
And it tricks you.
Yep.
It tricks you for real. I've done that. I've dressed like the first half of the day was like warm, and then I leave somewhere and it's like freezing and I look like a tonta because I have like flip-flops on and shorts, and it's like, it's not me, it was the weather.
Right. The other day it was crazy because it was literally warm in the morning. It was kind of like muggy, and then by the afternoon it was like, okay, now it's a little chilly. Then as soon as I got to work and I came back out, I was like, wait a minute. Now it's back to being hot again.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. And then, people wonder why they get sick. This
true.
Weather's up and down. But you never know. That's the beauty about Texas.
Yep.
This weather is, it's another thing.
Hey, you guys know that Elm got me some champagne, right? I need to know if Elm has ever got anybody else champagne. Y'all let me know.
Oh, hell yeah. They know.
Wait, have you?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not the first, y'all.
No, but.
Cut the camera, y'all.
But I always, like to treat my guests, So this is my way of,
Well, I will say, I think this is the first podcast interview where somebody's got me champagne, but it's probably because I've never told anybody. So shout out to I call her my lady sitter, Francesca, for letting him know that I like champagne. I normally just say Topo Chico or water. So this was a surprise. So thank you.
Yeah, she's like, hey, let's keep it a secret. So when she gets there and you present her the bottle, she'll be surprised.
It's because we told each other, both her and I both say, whenever we get rich, like when we make it big, we hope to have like champagne on tap. We want it for breakfast. We want to pour it in our cereal type thing.
Yeah.
So that's how we feel about champagne. I don't know if anybody else feels that way.
Yeah. I mean, champagne is, special occasions, you know what I mean? So, it's, we're here celebrating, as a matter of fact, we are celebrating something. We're celebrating International Women's Day.
Yeah, it was this past, Wednesday, Thursday?
I believe so.
Yeah. International Women's Day is really.
That's my way of, celebrating y'all females for y'all's accomplishments and everything y'all got going on. Cause, right now, you know, females are everywhere.
Yeah, it's like a really big movement. And I was thinking about that earlier this week. I was like, being like a woman entrepreneur is a really big thing because you can honestly get a lot of assistance, like whether it's become in business, like business loans, grants. They're like, oh, you're a woman. Oh, you have your own business. Oh, you're trying to get, your degree. All of these things, they will help women. And I'm like, when did this start? When did the movement start? Which I'm
Mhm.
glad it started. I mean, honestly, it helps me a lot. But
Yeah. I mean, in the last couple of years, I've seen it, with starting with entertainment, music, especially with like female rappers have come out of the woodworks.
yeah,
That's one thing that I've noticed. I was like, you got the Crystal Poppins, the Animazes, the XB Valentines. They're all these different women are, and they're embracing it, and they're like, you know what? Let's get it.
I would say, like, growing up, a lot of the female rappers that I always remember were like Lil Kim, Foxy Brown. It's just like those were who we remembered, right?
Hmm.
That was everything. Gangster Boo, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, we remember her. Trina, we remembered her. And then all of a sudden, when Meg the Stallion and all like this whole movement came, like I think it was like 2017, 2018, we were like, oh shit. And then now it's like different. It's taking on a whole different course where
Hmm.
it's no longer where you need to be featured on a man's song or like a male rapper's song. It's now
Yeah.
the male rappers are wanting to be featured on your song.
Yeah. Now they're.
How the tables have turned.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I always say, I always tell the guys, be like, hey, y'all need to step your game up because these women, they're coming. They're they're furious with it too.
Yeah,
You
well,
know.
it's like a whole movement. And honestly, it's like one of them things where it's like if you can have an anthem for yourself where no one can tell us how we feel better than a woman. That's honestly where it comes from. A man can tell you what he wants to tell you because he's trying to spit game at you, and we're like, okay, that's cute. But when a woman comes out and talks her shit and tells her
Mm.
truth, we're like, we know what she's talking about. That's where it comes from. A man can't do that really. But honestly, I sometimes feel bad during this whole movement for women because I'm like, damn, the men get no love. We're like, me, I have a son,
Mm.
so I try to tell him little insights because he's preteen. So I try to tell him little insights like, when a girl says this to you, like you don't understand her, just know you don't understand her. Step back, give her some time, and then be like, I understand you, but take like a little break.
Give them some breathing room.
Yeah.
Yeah. But y'all's hustle's also on a different level too. I see it. Not just in music, entertainment, and businesses as well. So I have to salute women.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main reasons why we're talking about this subject now, is because y'all dabble in anything.
Well, the number one consumer is honestly every brand looks at are women because we are the number one consumers. We can kind of influence anybody to buy anything. So I don't know if that was because of social media that they started realizing that and started gearing more towards women. But I also think that's the reason why women are smart in business because myself, I think like a consumer because I
Mhm.
am a consumer. So I put that first. And then everything that falls after when it comes to business is think like a consumer, act like a businesswoman. And I think that's what women do also in business. And I don't know if you know, but I also have an organization called We Belong, which is women entrepreneurs. And
Mhm.
we host events for women entrepreneurs. And I remember I had a panel of all women and the stories that they told about why they started their business. I mean, it was crazy. One of them,
Mhm.
she's her name's Laura Garza. She's a Goosehead Insurance. She owns her own agency, but the reason why she started was because a man didn't want to give her a raise. And she really wanted that raise. I mean, she sat up there and said, I wanted that raise. And I told him I deserved it. And instead of him giving me a raise, he fired me. And she's
Wow.
like, she said that she was like, okay, I'm just kidding. I don't want my raise. And he was like, no, like you're fired. But then she realized what she was worth
Mhm.
and she went and opened up her own agency. And now that man has to work like basically on the same level as her. Like he owns his own agency. She owns her own agency. She's killing it,
Yeah.
killing it. So it's just stuff like that.
Yeah, and not only, I mean, a lot of men, I guess, they figured, oh, she's just pretty or she's just that, and they kind of stereotype.
Sometimes, yeah.
And I don't think it's fair. Because if a female has it up here, she shouldn't be judged just because she is good looking.
Yeah, I think we do lead like with our beauty and obviously our sexuality sometimes too, but that's not for men to decide what we deserve as far as respect. And I think that gets lost in translation sometimes. I work with men, obviously, in my fields of industry, and the men that work on my team, they've never made me feel that way. But the second that I do come across a man like that, it's like, okay, well, you got it, boo. Do you over there? We're gonna do us over here, and then they learn I messed up, type of thing.
So, so then you came across that that sexist part,
all the time. I would say in music, that was my biggest battle, was trying to figure out how to grow as an artist without jeopardizing or, just jeopardizing who I was, like my morals, because they will look at you like, you want something, I can give you what you need, but you have to give me something too. But that honestly pushed me, and I think it pushed a lot. I think it pushes a lot of female artists to like talk their shit. Like, I don't need you. I can do this on my own. It's the power of social media also.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing for us. But yeah, women in music go through a lot too.
So do you get offended, or does it just fuel your fire to just even go harder?
I don't get offended because just being a woman in general, we go through that where we are constantly like, whether it's, I don't want to say in the workplace, but just when you're out and about, I mean, men are going to try what they think that they can try.
Yeah.
But I don't really get offended, but I do think that it really puts you in a weird predicament sometimes. And when I made the transition to become just like a business owner and work in the world of the industry that I'm in now, which is festivals and events, I didn't run across that so much. I ran across men that are more misogynistic. And that's a big thing too, because they will do what's the word? They would like put their chest out, kind of like flexing.
Machismo.
Yeah, kind of like flexing. And you're just kind of like, why are you, why is it gotta be like that? Why can't it just be like straight across, like, hey, respect me, I respect you. It's okay if I'm smarter than you, or it's okay if I'm at a level where you have to respect me. Sometimes that's hard for men, I think, to feel like superior or to a woman,
I guess, in a way, I guess some men gotta swallow their pride.
Yeah, it's hard, especially men that are older. It's really hard. I see it more in the younger generation because they're growing up in that social media where, like I said, where they're understanding that women are equally just as important as them, and they're going to get the same opportunities, and they can open doors for them too. And so, but sometimes we have to battle with the older men, and it's not just Latinos. I mean, it's all kinds of men.
Yeah. Different races.
Yeah. But when I come across a man that has daughters, it's really easy.
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, I have daughters, so I can relate. I don't want my daughter to be, I guess, not a stereotype, but kind of like, oh, well, you're in that position because you're cute.
Yeah.
Because you're pretty.
You don't want them to feel like they're in a situation where knowing that they are smart, that's not going to be enough for them when it is enough for them. But they sometimes, like the gatekeepers or whoever is holding that door closed, you want it to be open because they deserve it. And sometimes we come across men that don't think that we deserve it. Sometimes we got to do a detour, but that's not fun.
I mean, it is what it is, man. So fellas, I mean, you can't be feeling insecure around these females. They might offer something that another dude can't offer.
Yeah.
Or their intelligence is a little bit higher than your IQ. So, I mean, it is what it is. And, my salute to all women, entrepreneurs in all kinds of fields, because y'all doing it.
Yeah, even the stay-at-home moms, I'm like, you guys are entrepreneurs too, because you guys are like holding down the house, the kids.
I mean, that right there, I don't know how the stay-at-home moms do it, because when I get left with the little one for like the whole day, At the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I want to rip my ears off. I just don't get it. I don't see how y'all do it.
It is hard.
Yeah.
Like, it is hard. I think a lot of the times women lose who they are during those times of their kids being the youngest. And so if they are able to create a business while being a stay-at-home mom, because that's a lot of the reasons why they decide to become entrepreneurs, because they want to be there for their family and make their own schedule. That is their way of still holding on to who they are.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that a lot too. I mean, I can resonate with that. I've never done that, but when people tell me that, I'm like, I get it.
Yeah. So salute all the soccer moms for sure, most definitely. Y'all deal with a whole lot. Y'all deal with your husband, and got to make sure the home's on point, the family, everything. I mean, it's a job as well.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys don't see it like, well, you just stay home all day and watch novelas, and
Nobody even watches novelas anymore. We watch TikTok.
like, on the phone. But it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
So salute, and y'all keep doing y'all. And even though there be somebody that might get in your way, well, use them as a stepping stone to,
For real.
to get to where you need to go.
How many daughters do you have?
2.
See, okay. How old are they?
One's 24 and the other one's just turned 5.
That's a big gap.
Yes, it is.
Bro, you started early. Didn't you?
Yeah, a lot of people like, how old are you?
Yeah, you started early, right?
Yeah, so.
But your 24-year-old, do you feel like she's prepared to like come across those situations with men, or has she ever told you like, hey, I'm dealing with this type of guy that does that in the workplace or wherever it is?
Yeah, similar situation, kind of like what you described, where they'll try to like belittle her because she's a female, and I just I always told her, just keep working harder. They'll eventually see it, and you might not be there anymore, you might be somewhere else, but they'll eventually be like, wow, we messed up.
Yes, that's my favorite comeback. A lot of people don't know that's my favorite comeback. I am 100% like, be a good businesswoman, be respectful, don't burn a bridge, because eventually they're gonna come back and they're gonna, most of the time they apologize to you and they'll eat their words. But that's my biggest flex, will always be, I know I didn't do anything wrong because I didn't talk to you out of character. I didn't say anything to you, and I know what I deserve. And I always think that once I put that in the universe, it'll come back to me.
Oh yeah, I'm a big believer in the laws of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
So it's whatever you put out, usually comes back.
Yeah, sometimes I do act a little crazy, so I'm gonna put that out there too.
What's your sign?
I'm a Virgo.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Leo. I was about to say Leos are crazy.
But Leos are crazy. I am married to a Leo, and I'm like, why did we do this? And my mom is like the cusp of Virgo Leo, and she's a little crazy. So I think I got a little crazy from her, but I am a little crazy. Like, everybody that works with me, they're like, Sonia, like, calm down. And I'm like, look, sometimes you just gotta put people in their place, and they're like, yeah, but calm down.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people need to be put in their place, for sure, most definitely. So we're gonna go into the Chris Rock special. You got to watch a little bit of it. So what did you think of the whole, how?
What was that, like a year ago now, right? That happened.
Yeah, the slap heard around the world. Yeah,
that was harsh, man.
He's just now opening up and speaking about it.
He probably got paid a lot of money to open up and talk about it. But I'm going to say, when I did see the slap, the first thing that I thought about when I saw it was, Will Smith definitely needs help. That's what I thought when I first saw it.
Yeah.
Do I think he needs help now? I haven't seen him. But at that time, I was like, he needs help. Like, when you just can have so much anger built up in you. Chris Rock probably was like maybe the 50th, 60th person that said those things about Jada, but it was the last thing that he probably wanted to hear at that time, and for it to trigger him that way.
Yeah.
Mental health is a real thing, people.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
And Will Smith, I think, was at his like lowest point when he did that.
But that's not the first time he's actually put hands on somebody. I remember he was on a red carpet event.
Oh, and a camera guy.
Yeah.
I think
The
that's a
guy,
little different.
somebody asked him something. I don't think it was a camera guy.
Was it after the whole entanglement thing?
No, this is before, way before. They were actually interviewing him, and I don't know, either the guy got too close or too comfortable, and then Will Smith just
kissed him. Oh, he kissed him.
And that's what it was.
I remember him. He kissed him a little bit too much.
a little too much.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
But I do think in that situation, when it comes to the paparazzi, paparazzi is a little bit too in your space sometimes.
Yeah, they could be in.
But when it comes to you, like knowing that you're on an award show where you get up out of your seat, you walk up on the stage, there's people in the audience, and there's hundreds, thousands of people watching this from home, and you have nothing. Like, how many steps do you take to go up those stairs and to get to Chris Rock to where you could have thought out what it is you were gonna do? Was it gonna be worth it? He was hurting as a man. And then I look at Jada and I'm like, that girl, I think she looked like a tamale at that time. I can't remember if that's what she was wearing. But she honestly is the downfall of Will Smith.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So let's say that's your Jada, and then you're you see Chris Rock up there, and then your husband starts laughing when he says these jokes, and then
did he laugh?
Yeah, he was laughing.
He did, but I can't remember it, man. Was it a laugh like ha, I'm about to whoop the shit out this guy, or like that's really funny?
I think it was more of a that's funny, and then you seen Jada's reaction.
He got tired of it.
And,
I do remember. Okay,
she gave him the third degree.
So that's what I'm saying. I feel like Jada is honestly the foundation of Will Smith's downfall. And I will say, being, a wife, I am, and I've been with my man for I would say 14 years. I understand the power that I have, the power that I hold. Bro, I'll be holding that shit down for real. But I do know that depending on how something affects me, if it can bring down his energy too. And depending on how I make him feel can determine on how he reacts. I mean, that's just how the world works, I guess, the universe. I don't know. I did see Jada do that, though. And I do feel like if maybe Jada was just like, no, Will, sit down. No, Will, don't do this. She let that man walk up there. It's Jada. She's been the problem.
I mean, at the end of the day, he got embarrassed.
He did. I mean, I think it was just one too many times that people were talking about this thing.
But they've had run-ins in the past where Chris Rock has said something about Jada. So I guess it was more like, okay, that's enough. I think after
has anybody talked about Jada ever since then? I don't think so.
It worked. No, but they had the whole entanglement situation.
No, but that was before. I'm saying,
yeah.
Ever since he hit Chris Rock, has anybody said anything? I don't think so. He literally said, he literally said, like when you're growing up and your mom is telling you like, okay, you're gonna fall down, and then you fall down, and she still hits you with the chancla because you fell down and she's tired of that shit. I think that's what happened. I think that's honestly was Will Smith's perspective of I'm tired of it, and I'm tired, and he probably started hearing Jada.
Well, they stopped talking about Jada, but they started talking about
Will and the punch.
I mean, there was a lot of rappers and everybody, calling him a bitch, and then it's funny, what Chris Rock said. It's like everybody calling you a bitch, because of the whole entanglement situation. But you decided to come over here and smack me.
Yeah, and so watching the clip that I watched right now, I felt bad for Chris Rock when he got punched because that's embarrassing. I'm pretty sure it hurt. And he had to stay up there and still talk about whatever he was talking about. But it is embarrassing, I think, when another man just hits you on national TV and you look like, Chris can kind of look like a little punk too.
Yeah.
And then it makes you feel like even more of a punk. So I will say that watching the clip that Chris Rock was talking about, I feel like Will Smith kind of picked on a smaller person, a more vulnerable, smaller person.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name from Debo? Debo on Friday. What's his real name though?
Tiny.
That's his real name in real life?
Yeah, right.
Didn't he pass away, though?
Yeah, he passed away. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
As
R.I.P.
Tiny, they come, Sue's.
Okay,
I forgot
R.I.P.
his,
Tiny.
you know.
But imagine if he was saying something. Do you think Will Smith would walk up there and like punch him or slap him? No.
No.
Chris was small, you know, and he just.
But then, you know, he slapped him. So that also has a different significance.
Yeah, because that's very like beneath you.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, as men, if I get slapped by another dude, it's like he's pretty much calling you a bitch. You know what I mean? A punk. Because it's like, you know what? You're not worth me punching you, so I'm going to slap you. So, you know, it's.
He's not invited back, right? What was that, the Oscars? Is Will Smith not invited anymore?
Nah.
You know what else was really sad about that? I don't know if you've ever watched the award. So that night, Will Smith won an Oscar for his role in King Richard.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch that movie?
Yeah.
That was a beautiful movie.
It was good.
And it pretty much overshadowed, that whole slap overshadowed.
Yep.
So.
I think if he would have just left it alone, and, you know, we'd be talking about Will Smith in a whole different light right now.
Yeah, I mean, he won that Oscar. We would have been like,
Yeah.
that's amazing work you did. But now we're talking about you like you lost your mind over
But now
Jada.
we're talking about Shook Smith.
Yeah, that was Shook Smith.
But yeah, so let's go into how the whole Carne Asada Fest began. So when did it originally start?
So Carne Asada Fest, actually, the idea was in 2018. And the reason why I say that is because as an artist, I was just like, look, I don't know what y'all doing over here with your events, but I have this idea. And I would tell people all the time, and they wouldn't listen to me. No promoters would listen to me. Nobody would listen to me. So I kept doing my thing. I kept being an artist. I learned branding. I learned what it meant, like, to have a following. And when the pandemic happened was when I really was like, all right, you got to put your brand to the test. And I had to hustle because we didn't have shows, you know? And so I released T-shirt designs. Every T-shirt would sell out. I released kilobytes. My music videos would go hand in hand with my merch. And then I was like, 2021 came and I was like, I'm kind of tired of being an artist. So if you're going to do this idea, you have to do it now. So 2021, I think it was like May. I was like, I called up my friends and I was like, I really want to do this event. I don't know if you know who Dummy Fresh is. You know who Dummy Fresh is? He's an artist in Dallas. He's the person that's behind all of my brand, like how everything looks, how Kilobytes looks, how like all of my T-shirts look. I said, hey, I want to do this idea. It's going to be called the Carne Asada Fest. I need you to create a flyer. And he was just like, he's one of those people that I can call and he won't question me. He'll just be like, all right. He's like, just tell me what you want it to look like. And I gave him my idea and he gave me the flyer and I was like, yes, we're going to do it. We had 6 weeks from the time that we decided to July 10th. It was July 10th, 2021. And I remember I told myself, like, you're an artist, but I never take for granted my following. I never assume that it's super easy to get them to believe in something. I always like, you got to work regardless. I'm going to have to work at this. And I was like, I got 6 weeks to sell out my own event. Like, is that possible? And in 6 weeks, it was at Deep Alum Sons of Herman Hall and 700 max capacity. But I think we got to like 1,000. Wow. And in 6 weeks, we did that thing.
Wow, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a short amount of time.
Yes. And I remember it was like day and night. It was like day and night. I was just like, I would be at my mom's house. I was telling my dad, honestly, I always say, if it wasn't for my dad being so welcoming to people, I don't think I would have that same personality. Because Carne Asada Fest really is, you're invited to the Carne Asada. Yeah. Like, regardless of your nationality, your religion, your sexuality, all of those things. You don't have to be a Latina or Latino to come. We just want you to come. Yeah. And we want you to experience what the Carne Asada Fest is from a real Latino. We don't want you to just be like, oh, it's Taco Fest. Come get a taco. No.
A street taco.
It's not. Yeah, street tacos. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
So I made sure, like, we put that realness behind it. And I remember our headliner was Big Tuck. I mean, that's Dallas through and through, Big Tuck. And I was like, that's our headliner. So let's see what happens. And it worked. I mean, we packed out the place with DJs and also local artists. And that's the only festival I performed at. I didn't perform at 2022 and I won't perform at this year. But it was just like, I realized what was being created was honestly big platform for everybody. Food vendors, local artists, any artist. Like, you're getting the opportunity to be a part of a festival that's real, authentic, and our stage production is amazing. Like, I will say that being an artist really helped me realize what is missing in certain things when it comes to doing shows, because local artists hold a lot of power. And for me, I would always think about when my fans would come out to shows, do they feel like they're getting the experience that I want them to get? And so there was a point where I was like, I was starting to turn down shows because I was like, I don't know if I want to ask my fan base to come out to this if I don't think it's gonna
It's worth it.
worth it. And so then when I created Carne Asada Fest, I was like, I need these people to bring their fans out. And so I want to make sure they feel like it's worth it. And that's why we put a lot of work into the stage production. And then we pack it out with bigger artists. You know, last year was like Big Tuck. Last year, I think we did a more nostalgic lineup because we did Nina Sky, we did Big Tuck, we did Paul Wall, we did Slim Thug, we did DJ Kane from the Cumbia King. So he did all the Cumbia King songs from the first album, which was amazing. Ray Burger. So we have newer artists, but it really was like that nostalgic feel. And so every year that we grow, I'm like, how are we gonna top last year? It does get hard though. I will say that. It does get hard.
Because I mean, it was big. I mean,
did you go?
I missed it.
Oh no, that's not fair. Okay, cut the cameras again.
He's like, got the cameras. I'm going about here. No, it's actually when you know, at the time we're starting to build as well over here. So I was, you know, involved in doing a lot of stuff. And when I found out I couldn't get tickets anymore. So I was like, damn, I was like, everybody's gonna be there.
And everybody was there.
I seen pictures, I seen videos, and I was like, damn.
I think you just,
you know, when I found out about it, it was maybe a week before. So I was like, man, it's gonna be big, because when I seen the flyer, that's what captivated me, to be honest with you. I was like, I looked at the flyer and I was like, it's dope. I like the little smiley face you had and everything.
That's all dummy fresh,
yeah, that's dope. That's a dope design. I was like, this is dope. So if they took the time to create a flyer, I was like, I could just imagine how the show. And then when I started seeing pictures and videos, I was like, wow, this is dope, man. I can't believe I missed it.
And one of the things that really resonates with me, that like the feedback that we get is people, and I remember this as an artist too, so I always think about this, is when people say, I didn't expect that. And I'm always like, why do y'all say that? But I think it's because as consumers, we're used to people hyping us up, and then we get there and we're like, that ain't what it was. So I will say that's the reason why I hold myself and the team to a certain standard, because I will never, ever allow ourselves to be like, we took your guys' money and we gave you bare minimum. Because at the end of the day, it was never about the money for me. It was, longevity is never about the money. If you can build something that's going to create longevity, then you're going to get that money. Eventually, you're going to get there. But I think that in today's society or today's world, when it comes to consumers, people just want to make quick buck. And then you're never going to be able to get those consumers back. So I'm big on returning. I have people that this is their third year coming to the Carne Asada Fest. They're like, this is a family tradition. I'm like, bet, I got it. I got it in the bag. Like, to say or to hear people say, this is my family tradition, then your grandkids are going to be here. Their grandkids are going to be there. I'm going to be 50 years old. And I'm going to have generations and generations coming. And we're going to have our kids doing Carne Asada Fest and doing the production.
I mean, I see this being huge in Dallas.
I mean, I hope so, right?
I mean, because you've hosted, last year you hosted it at Gillies.
It'll be there again this
South
year.
of Lamar, right? So it's going to be at the same place?
Yeah.
So eventually it's going to get so big that you're going to have to fill a stadium.
I know, we're going to be at Cowboy Stadium, right?
That'd be badass. That'd be badass though. But I mean, I see it, and I can't believe it. Like I said, I missed it last year, so I'm most definitely I'll be in the house. I got to come check it out for myself this time. Last time I only enjoyed it on people's
But it's not even the real
Instagram.
thing,
Yeah, I
friend.
know, but just just that alone had me hyped up, and I was like, man, I can't believe I'm not there. But it's dope. I like what you're doing, the whole movement. And hopefully, just keep pushing, and hopefully it gets bigger and bigger and bigger every year. And like you said, it's gonna be a tradition. Like, hey, y'all going to the Carne Asada Festival this year? Hell yeah, we're there.
I still, I still think that I know that it's going to take a lot of years for it to become one of them things where when people say the Carne Asada Fest, you don't have to explain what it is because we're still in that period.
Mm.
And there's still people like Dallas. Do you know how many people are in Dallas? I forget the number.
No, I'm not quite
It's
sure.
a lot of people. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people that are in Dallas. And until I create that brand to where I don't even have to explain what Carne Asada Fest is, I have to work every year. Even after the festival, we're still working. And it honestly takes from August till May to create what we create. And that's only because we are a small production team. Like I think at the end of 2021, I created an LLC finally for my production team.
Mm.
And this is my first year filing business taxes. I'm like, please don't take me to jail. Don't Martha Stewart me, please.
Yeah.
I had to grow up really fast because when you build something like this, when you build something that's real, it attracts brands. It attracts brand dollars. You have to do things the right way in order to be able to accept those brand dollars. So we couldn't, I just had to grow up really fast. And I'm really thankful for the people that helped me get here.
So who are some of the artists that they can expect to see at this year's Carne Asada Fest?
So this year we have Michael Salgado. We did add some Tejano, which a lot of, I've heard that for the past 2 years. They're like, you should do Tejano. And I'm like, yeah, we'll get there. So this year we wanted to add, I love Michael Salgado. I don't know. Do you know Michael Salgado?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you lived in Dallas?
I've been here for 20-some years.
Oh, yeah. You know Tejano.
Yeah.
Okay. So to me, Michael Salgado was just that, his voice and just, it's not just Palomita Blanca. It's everything. I just love Michael Salgado. I love his accordion. I love him. So in case y'all didn't catch that, I love Michael Salgado. But we had MC Magic. We have Fulanito. That was another one for me that last year when I got Nina Sky was the first artist that I reached out to. And I was like, I need Nina Sky there. And this year was Fulanito because I really like to make sure that when it comes to the lineup, it's one of those things where it takes you back. So we have it takes you back. We have our current artist and then we have a different, genre. Fulanito was the take you back artist for me. Do you know who Fulanito is?
Yeah.
Okay. So Fulanito, I was like, how do I even find them?
Yeah.
And that's another story in itself. But when I reached out to them and he just called me and it was no agent. It was no I had to jump through hoops. He just called me. I was just like, hey, his name's Winston. I was like, hey, I'm Sonia. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I created a festival called Carne Asada Fest. And he was just like, oh, that's dope. We would love to perform. And I was just, and they don't come to Dallas. So that's another thing that I really look at. I want artists that don't come here a lot. So Fulanito is going to be there. Ray Berger, he's a huge EDM DJ. You know who he is?
Yeah, heard of him.
He's amazing. And then we have our local artists. We have Steve Garcia. We have Yossi. We have Gabriela Martinez, who is huge on TikTok. She reminds me of Selena a lot. Jenny B, another huge artist. Ren Galera, who is big on The Voice. We have Muriel. I don't know if you know who Muriel is. She's really big too. And so we have also our DJs. We have DJ Ivy, DJ Aviglow. We have DJ Chewy Salazar. It's just a good time.
Yeah. And some of the vendors, talk about a little bit of the vendors.
So our food vendors, I don't know if you know this, but our food portion of our festival gets so much media attention because the way that it works is you can't just come and set up at Carne Asada Fest. You have to go through a process. We pick who we're going to allow to come, and you have to be the best of the best. Let's be honest. Everybody's going to try your food, and I don't want people to be like, those tacos sucked, So So they fill out application.
I actually seen y'all doing food testing, right?
Yes, and then that's another other thing. We do a production leading up to the festival where we taste the food and we really react to how it tastes. And so we have we have Smoking Dogs, who's been here since the first Carne Asada Fest. His burritos are amazing. Like he has a carne asada, he has a El Mero Mero burrito. Oh my God, he has a carne asada burrito. Bro, his wife be going in on the arroz. His wife be going in on the salsa verde.
Oh, you're getting hungry.
It's good. It's so good. That day where we do all of the content of eating food, like, it's hard. It's hard because we're eating so much food. We have this other vendor. He's new this year. His name's Pacheco Tacos and Burgers. But he does carne asada fries. He does everything's like made from scratch. Wow. It's good. It's delicious. We also have all of our treats like sarape treats. We have I think it's Janelle's Sweets and Berries by Janelle. We also have Cheros, like they make pupusas, but they make pupusa tacos. Ever had pupusa?
No, yeah, I have pupusas, but never pupusa tacos.
Yes.
What?
So it's like, when people go to the state fair and they kind of try like these crazy things.
Yeah.
Like it's a mix of, I call it hybrid because it's like a mixture of like things. It's concoctions. It's like science.
Yeah.
And they do this with food. So all of our food vendors do the exact same thing. They I think that they look at the Carne Asada Fest as like, this is our opportunity to showcase something because so many people are going to be there. And they create these crazy things.
So, I mean, I probably will be missing some of the performances because I'll probably be busy.
But it's okay because
stuffing my face.
The performances start at like 6:37. So we know like the traffic of the festival from 2 to 6 is always outside.
Okay. So it starts outside and then boom.
Moves inside.
Ya todos llenos. Let's go. Party. The
Yeah.
party starts.
You take your michelada inside and then hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, just your typical carne asada. You show up, they're grilling, they're preparing the food, you eat, and then boom.
All night. Yeah. And you know what? And that's the other thing that when I was like, okay, this is how the Carne Asada Fest is going to go is, when you're at a Carne Asada, somebody puts their playlist on, right? It's always Tejanos, cumbias.
That's right.
Right? And then at the end, it goes into hip hop. Because all our, like, the abuelas go inside, the tias go inside, and then it gets a little bit too ratchet for them.
Yeah.
That's exactly how we end Carne Asada Fest.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. And then when I seen the flyer and I seen your headlines, I was like, okay. I was like, okay, I see it. I love what she's doing with it, and like I said, I have to be in the building, so I'm most definitely gonna be there. Let the viewers know where they could get tickets.
So definitely go to carneasadafest.com, and if you use the code CAFest, you will get you will save on your ticket. I think it's $8 off. So definitely use that. We also have, if you buy 3 tickets, you get 1 free because Carne Asada Fest is always better with friends. We will have our sponsors Tequila with Friends there. You want to show your bottle? So Tequila with Friends is actually, it's made in Jalisco, but it was raised in Oak Cliff. That's what we like to say because the group of guys that made this is from Oak Cliff, Texas. We keep it local, baby.
Like I always say, tequila tastes better when you have it with friends.
Yeah, it's true. And you can get a shot of tequila for any of your mangonadas, any of that. They'll be set up there.
Oh, yeah. So when I'm passed out on the floor, don't be surprised if my wife calls you. Like, what did you do? Why'd you give him a bottle of tequila? But I appreciate the gift. Most definitely. I like it. I'm more definitely going to share it with friends, of course.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the bites, the treats.
The Kilo Bites?
Yeah.
So the Kilo Bites actually came out in 2021. At that time when I was an artist, I was really testing my brand. And Sarape Treats, which this is our 3rd year being at Carne Asada Fest, but Sarape Treats was made by 2 of my friends, Roxanne and Jasmine, and they made this during the pandemic. And honestly, their success has been amazing. They're on Amazon now. They have the best chamoy, like so many flavors. Go on Amazon and just order it. You'll be so happy you did. But at the time, I remember I was like, hey, I kind of would like to do a collaboration with you. And they were like, yeah, let's do it. This was probably the best collaboration I could have did as an artist because it gave me freedom to really decide how I wanted the package to go. Dummy Fresh made the brand, like how it looks the way that it looks. And these things sell out every single time. They sell out crazy. So every time they're like, we need kilobytes. I'm like, I don't have any, but you can go to Set Up Your Treats. You know, they have their stuff.
Man, these are good. Let me
They're
tell you.
good. And I'm really proud of them. Like, they're still, you know, they're trying to figure it out too, how to go from a small business and be in like Walmart, be in HEB, you know, all of these things. And it's a lot of work.
Oh, yeah. But these are really good. So, y'all be selling these at Carne Asada
Yeah,
Fest?
so they'll be set up.
Man.
They'll have mangonadas. They'll have all kinds of things there. We also have like this, I think it's like a churro. It's like a churro truck. Crazy the way that they make the churro. Bro, I can't explain it. Just go to our IG and look at all the videos.
I love churros. I mean, I could eat a dozen of those, man.
I love churros too. You know, last year I can talk about them because they are going to be there this year. I had to do some work to get them to come back. But you know Pizza Patron?
Mm-hmm.
So do you know the history of Pizza Patron?
Little bit. Scoop me though.
So when 2022 Carne Asada Fest was coming along, I was like, look, we're growing, we're getting bigger. If people want to be involved with Carne Asada Fest, I want it to be real authentic people. The reason why we have Tequila with Friends, Pizza Patron originated from Dallas. So their first pop-up was their first store was in Pleasant Grove, and their other store was in Oak Cliff. So I was like, listen here, if there's anybody that I want to be a part of Carne Asada Fest, it's Pizza Patron. I remember I sent the email, and like 2 seconds later, he responded to me, tell me more. I was like, okay. I was just like, you know, and we made it happen. Pizza Patron was our presenting sponsor last year. But what I got to find out, their specialty pizzas are amazing. Like, they have a carne asada pizza.
Yeah, they do.
You had it?
Yeah,
bro,
good.
It comes with the lime and it comes with salsa verde. Have you had their chori queso pizza?
Yeah.
Bro, it's like a breakfast pizza.
Yeah.
And people don't know this. And I think that collaboration that I had with them last year and I will have with them again this year because they will be back passing out free pizza. They will have free pizza there. Bro, not just that. I learned that their wings are like a top notch, like top tier wings. They have their own ranch. Their churros are amazing. Like, bro.
I remember being in Oak Cliff because I used to hang out in Oak Cliff. One of my good friends, he's from Oak Cliff. So we spend a lot of time when I got here. I spent a lot of times over there off of Davis and Jefferson.
Yeah.
And I remember we used to start drinking, and my boy would like, "Hey, everybody pitch in," and then everybody pull out $2-3, whatever.
Was it during the time that they would cut their pizzas like squares?
Yeah. It was around that time, and yeah, you didn't have Pizza Patrons. I think that was the only one in Oak Cliff at the time. And dude would come back with boxes. I was like, "Damn, bro, where the fuck did you get all those pizzas?"
They were so cheap.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, Pizza Patron. So, again, when I make sure I want to work with somebody, I look into, okay, what have you done for the people? And I didn't know any of this until I started doing research, but the marketing guy that I talked to has been there since the beginning. And I was like, okay, he's the real deal. He knows what's up. He's been there since the beginning. He knows what they've been through. But also during the Trump administration, they still stood by there. If you come in and you ask for, I think it was like, I forgot what saying it was in Spanish, but if people came in there and asked for it, they would give them free pizza. And during that time, you know how the Trump administration was creating all this hate. People were like, you shouldn't be speaking Spanish. But Pizza Patron spoke up and said, you know, basically this is what it is. People can come in here and speak Spanish. We'll give them free pizza. Yeah. They haven't changed their prices in forever. The only thing that they did change was they don't make those square pizzas anymore because they did say that those cutters were expensive. So they do regular slices now. Yeah. But that's how people cut pizzas in Mexico.
I did not know that.
Yeah. But, you know, we still ride for y'all Pizza Patron.
Oh, yeah.
You can cut your pizza however way.
It's still good. It tastes the same.
It's good. It even tastes better now.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of Pizza Patron. So yeah.
They'll be there. So get your free pizza.
I'm going to have to hit the gym extra hard. So
yes,
the week that day I'm there, I'm like,
so I get a lot of DMs about that. like after Carne Asada Fest, people tell me like I really made sure I worked out really good this past month because this was my cheat day. I'm like, yeah, for sure. Like it really is your cheat day because you want to try so many things. It's literally all of your favorite food vendors in one place.
I'm excited. I can't wait for real. And I mean, I can't stop talking about these kilobytes. Hey, I'm telling you, y'all need to go and catch you a bag because hey, they're not gonna last. I guarantee you, they're gonna sell out, and then y'all gonna be like, damn, I didn't get them. But hey, I got my own personal bag, so
Yeah.
hey, I beat y'all to it. So most definitely, I will be in the house, and hopefully everybody, some of these viewers, they could come through and experience the Carne Asada Fest for themselves. You know, it's an all age event.
Yep. Kids 12 and under are free courtesy of Pizza Patron.
Oh wow, that's cool. So
Bring your children because that's the exact.
Some of y'all have about 5 or 6.
Yeah. So, but the reason why we did that was because growing up, our parents would take us to all the parties. They wouldn't drop us off at the babysitter, bro. We'd be laid out on a chair.
Yeah.
Till like 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, we'd be falling asleep on the couch. Parents still dancing.
Yeah. And then they take us home. And then when we get older, they're like, you need to be home by 11 or 12 o'clock. Like, bro, like you didn't just train us for this our whole life to be out till 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah. Most definitely. So I am excited just about the whole festival. I was going to ask you, do you plan on taking this outside of Texas?
We got asked. We actually went to Jersey, Atlantic City in January because they wanted us to bring Carne Asada Fest there. And it was a cool experience. Like, I've never been to the East Coast. So it was interesting. And I got to see how they lived. And I loved it. I mean, it was right there on the boardwalk.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. I have it on my IG, but it was beautiful. And we went out to the clubs. I partied a little bit too hard. They let their clubs stay open till like 5:00 in the morning. I was not ready. I have a video of that too. But we met all the locals and we were telling them like why we were out there and what they wanted to do. And they were like, we need something like that. Like, we don't have anything like that. And then I came home and my son, who's 12, he was just like, that's not right, Mom. Carne Asada Fest is Dallas. If people want to come to Carne Asada Fest, they need to come to Dallas. And I was like, okay. He's like my little Miss President, future Carne Asada Fest.
You know that it'll be like what California has Coachella.
Yeah, and so I'm not opposed to taking it to like Arizona and New Mexico because the culture is still kind of the same.
Yeah.
Jersey, the culture is not the same. And the only way it would be Carne Asada Fest is if we brought what our food vendors bring. I can't find that on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So we looked into the cost of that, and that's hard.
Wow.
So I was like, if I go to the East Coast, it would be something totally different. I would create a whole different festival over there.
Well, if you build it, then we'll come.
Yeah. That's what my dad said too.
Yeah. So maybe you should just keep it here in Dallas. So like that, it'll attract tourists.
Yep. I mean, people come from Las Vegas, Chicago, Oklahoma. We see the ticket sales come in and it's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, I salute you for your everything you're doing, your hustle. I think I reached out to you last year, but you were so busy with the second annual Carne Asada Fest, you couldn't make it. But I was like, this year she's coming on the show, and she's gonna talk about the Carne Asada Fest because it's gonna get big, it's gonna be huge, and I can see your vision. That's dope.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you for coming on the show and talking about everything you got going on. And man, y'all gotta make it to get some of these kilo bites, man, for real. And then will they be serving
yeah, so make sure you stop by the Tequila with Friends. We will have free shots depending how you feeling though. If you look like you had a little bit too many shots, we're not gonna give you no more free shots.
Yeah.
So pace yourself. It's a 10-hour event.
10-hour event.
Let me see. Yeah, it's 10 hours. I was like, hold on, let me check.
Hey, so pace yourself, drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
So, you could last the whole night and drink
Definitely
responsible.
Eat food, eat carbs. Enjoy it. It's a gift, honestly.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can't wait to see where Carne Asada Fest goes from here. Do you want to give any special shout outs out there?
I want to give a shout out to Kirby, Miguel, Ruby, Francesca, my husband, my kids, my parents, to Elmer, to Elm Street, and to everybody that has supported me, Sonia Kilo, when I was an artist, up to Carne Asada Fest. I mean, I honestly wouldn't be able to have the ganas that I have if it wasn't for you guys believing in me. So thank you. You guys are like my little, like when they say ponen tu pilas.
Yeah.
That's it. That's literally it.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, big shout out to Sonia Kilo and the Carne Asada Festival. If you miss it, you're gonna go back and look at the pictures, the reels, and you're gonna be like, man, you're gonna be sad like I was last year.
Don't be that.
So don't be me last year. So make sure you hit it up. If you ain't got your tickets, go get your tickets. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna be posting everything on my social medias about Carne Asada Fest. So you most guarantee that I'm gonna be a big supporter. So hey, be looking out for it because it's coming, and she's gonna be the biggest thing out here in D-Town. Watch what I say, And shout out to Tequila with Friends. Don't drink alone. Drink with your friends. Bam. So most definitely, just want to shout out to everybody that's been showing me love. I see the likes, the subscriptions, everything's going up, and I just want to thank all of y'all for keep coming back, tuning in. And for them haters, hey, we love y'all too, man. We appreciate y'all because, y'all motivate us to keep going. Apparently, we're doing something right over here. So it's all good. Salute to all of y'all. And keep your ears to the streets. And I'll catch you on the block. It's your boy, Money Elms. Peace.